to do a quick update on my journey finding home and let everyone know that I'm okay. And I have some really awesome news that I would like to share with everyone. Before I do, I would like to give a great big thank you to the individuals who were involved in making this happen, this news. I've waited a long time this past year for this to happen, and again, I can't thank you enough. And I just wanted to quickly segue before I get into the good news, as I notice people who are not as well off as others, who are the most generous, who come forward to help. And sometimes people make a sacrifice just to help me, and I don't even know what to say about that. It's humbling, and I suppose part of this is just knowing that people care. And I can't thank these people enough for this good news. Now on to the good news. As everyone who's been following my journey finding home knows, I had a cheap Chinese diesel heater that was someone had got for me actually a year ago this month, and unfortunately it didn't work. And I had a friend of mine, he went out and bought 2 other ones and parts and trying to get this thing to work and everything else with no success. And that heater was a nightmare. And just recently, these individuals who brought this good news to me have bought me a Webasto heater. And I just had it installed, and I would like to say that it's so far working awesome. And I did somewhat of a box opening of the product and somewhat of install, just going through the process, taking out the old heater, putting this new one in. We had to redesign its location, so it took a long time, but I'm just happy to have it. And let me tell you, last night it was awesome. So thank you again to the people who made this possible. And not only those people I want to give a shout out to, but there's other people that helped make it possible, helped me get to where I needed to go to get this install done. And I'm not forgetting these people. I want to thank these people from the bottom of my heart, truly, because if I couldn't make the long drive to where I had to go, it would just be sitting on a workbench somewhere, right? So thank you to everyone. And there's other people who had with food and other things. I just want to thank everyone. So here is the video clips that were made, and I'm sure there's going to be one of the clips that hopefully you'll find humorous. And it was a good tension release. So many of you will be familiar with this unit. This is the Chinese diesel heater that's been my nightmare,
bane of your existence,
since well, last December. And my buddy had bought 2 of them and parts and spent a lot of time trying to get this thing to work. I wouldn't recommend Chinese diesel heaters, but I do have some good news. We're going to be taking this one out, and I'm going to be giving this unit here to my buddy beside me, and that's what we're going to be doing next.
Do I get the controller?
Oh no, I have plans for the controller. So this is the brand that I'm going with now, and I would like to do a real big thank you to the people who had got me this. I remember when I got the news, I was literally in next to tears, but this is the unboxing of the Webasto gasoline heater. No more cheap Chinese diesel heaters or diesel. So this is the unboxing. So opening up the box, you get an instruction manual from the looks of it. And this is what would go into your gas tank, the controller, some parts, exhaust, and fuel pump. So it appears the kit does come with everything that's needed. I don't know what this is for. It's probably in the instructions. So the next video is going to be, or the next part is going to be the actual unit. Very nice box, very well protected. And this is the unit. It looks to be a bit smaller than the other one. Maybe a bit, it's wider, but not as long. Alright, so that's the unboxing, and I'll see you very shortly.
Should have been like some white doves or something coming out of it. Or...
Nice. I just wanted to do a real quick comparison. When you look at, this is the intake tubes for, so the black one is the cheap Chinese diesel heater one, and this, obviously the newer looking one is the Webasto, and you can tell right off the top the quality, the thickness of these things. It's substantially greater, and that right there is giving me a lot of confidence. And
yeah, this one is just made out of solid, aluminum basically, and this is cardboard with tin foil on it.
Yeah, and then if you want to grab this, the intake.
This is the exhaust.
This is the exhaust?
Yeah.
So if you look at this exhaust, this is solid.
Way better quality than what comes with Chinese ones.
Absolutely. So right there you can tell the quality difference with the American-made Webasto heater. So right off the top, my confidence is like just shot up to the roof. So anyway, catch you in a minute. Looking at the weight of this pump is heavy, and you can't tell in the video. There's no way for me unless I get a scale. This pump is heavy duty compared to the Chinese diesel heater version. I'm absolutely, like, I mean, this thing's not even installed, and I'm absolutely impressed with the quality, but this is heavy. Okay, so you can see the Chinese diesel heater sitting there, and now we're about to remove it from the location.
Yeah, proper tools are key.
Yep, proper tools are, yep, that
should do it.
Perfect. Yeah, there we go. As you can see, we pretty much have the Chinese diesel heater out. You can tell that using the proper tool, the sledgehammer worked just fine. So now we're just getting rid of all the little parts to it, and then we're going to be installing the Webasto gasoline heater right there. So I just wanted to do a side-by-side comparison. There's the cheap Chinese diesel heater. Again, I wouldn't recommend that. And here's the Webasto gasoline heater. It is smaller side by side. It's not as long. Maybe even a little bit narrower. So just wanted to do a side by side comparison of the two. Come up over the top. I'm just going to do a top view of them both. So it's not as long as the Chinese crappy one, but it Well, probably about the same, well, maybe a bit wider, but not.
It's about a 1/8 of an inch wider, but you're looking at a solid 3/4 of an inch shorter.
Yeah. So there's a side by side. So what we're doing here is we're going to be mounting the new heater right to the floor, and we had to cut out the rubber floor. The FJs have rubber floors, and my buddy here snipped the windshield washer fluid line that goes to the back window. So anyone with an FJ, Toyota FJ, that's where your line is.
Luckily, they make these little barb fittings that make it real easy
Let's see that.
to fix.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So just so you know, if it happens, that's where it is, and be careful, because checking underneath the rubber would be a little bit difficult. So anyway, that's that. Okay, we have the wiring loom through the firewall, and that's going to be connected to the auxiliary battery. You can see my other video on my engine bay. And then what we did was we relocated the this unit here and the fuse block, cleared up all this room behind here, and that's where the extra wiring loom is going to be wrapped up here. We have the, see, it says Webasto. This unit, just to touch it, I'm not lying, it's phenomenal. And we have it bolted right to the body. And this thing's solid. And we have the conduit going where the heat's going to come out. So that's the progress so far. I didn't bother recording cutting this out, and some of the cuts we had to do was kind of boring and whatever. So it is what it is, and progress is being made. So we are, I would say, 3/4 of the way done so far. Okay, we have the Webasto heater ready for a test run, and yeah, the controller's not mounted. I just want to do a test run, make sure everything works. So my buddy is now going to turn it on to, I don't know, something. Now the fuel pump needs to be primed. We primed it right up to the
pump.
to the pump, but the pump itself has to get primed. So
Got a green light. You see that?
we got a green light. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, somebody's excited. I'm just nervous.
It does say it may take a few times to prime it.
So I don't know when it cycles off.
Yeah, we didn't get any heat out of it that time.
Okay, so this is our second attempt. Again, the fuel pump here needs to be primed. The fuel is already up to here, and so it's going to probably take a little bit for it to run back into the unit. So we're trying second attempt. Don't know if you can hear how quiet that is. Okay, so that's run 2. It's shutting itself down. So we're going to let this thing do its cool down thing and try it again. Okay, so kind of forgot to record. We got it going. She fired up, blowing out nice heat. So we're going to do it again. And my buddy can now turn on the heater.
See what happens.
So that's the pump. On startup, the pump is just loud, but then you can barely hear it when it's in operation. The shop heater just turned on, so you'll hear that in the background as well. And we have ignition. The unit seems to be running fine. So what we're going to do next is we're going to just tidy everything up, close it all up, and I just have to find where I'm going to mount the controller. So right now it's set for half the heat, and this thing's going to be awesome. Hey dude, remember I said I had plans for that Chinese diesel heater controller? Well, seeing that we both have had a year of non-stop frustration, we're both going to enjoy the following. So, if anyone asks me, what do I think of these Chinese diesel heaters? Especially one that I mentioned, this particular one. Well, now you know what I think of them. And what more can I say? So I just want to do a real quick shout out to my buddy we spent the whole day working on this because we had to redesign its location, as you can see, and everything else. So a lot of work, a lot of effort, and it was actually nice to hang out with my buddy. I'd like to thank his wife. Always a pleasure, and the homemade bread. I'll just leave it at that. I have a smile, right? So thank you very much for everything. Thank you to everyone for making this possible. And now I just have to get through another day. I'm sitting here at a gas station waiting for money for gas and grab something to eat, some food and stuff, and carry on my journey. So anyway, thank you for watching. See you in the next video.
noise you hear is the air intake outside. It's really loud, but the heater really works.